Florida.
Oh,
Oh, he was gonna call, and he still may call in, he may just be, running late or something, so. Okay, so, for our minutes here, we have, at present, Commissioner Van Zant, how do you pronounce it? Zant, Robert Labrie, Nancy Berger, and Gail Lemieux, and Saul Guerrero from the golf course. Audience of citizens, I don't see anybody here or online. So now, did everybody get the July 18th minutes?
Sure.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept the minutes, or are there any corrections or changes? Okay,
second.
Robert made a motion. Yeah, Lucas, all those in favor? Aye, and Nancy and Gail abstained as we were not at the July 18th meeting. Okay, so old business, volunteer program, so.
Myself, Commissioner, Labrie and Williams, and George Gonzalez, and George Privilege had a meeting. That's our volunteer group. We had our initial meeting last week. We talked about some programs that we would do, reflecting the memorandum that we had here in our meeting for the commission. And we put out a couple dates where, one, we will meet again, but two, we'll have our first volunteer day.
Okay,
And we're thinking our first volunteer day is first week of September or something.
September, yep.
Bill Richards is away, so we're gonna have a meeting when he gets back next week.
Cool.
By then, I'm hoping to hear back from HR where they already have the memorandum that we have and they're reviewing it.
okay,
And she said she would get back to us this week. So I'm just giving her some space, and hopefully by our meeting, we have something from that, so.
okay, good,
It was good. It was a good meeting.
good.
If you don't know the other two Georges, they're part of the senior club,
Okay,
George
I did not know
Gonzalez and George Crimmins.
I was wondering who they were.
okay, okay, cool.
Yeah,
And so what kinds of things will the volunteers be doing?
well, at first, we were thinking very standard, like around the clubhouse, tee boxes,
Like
You know,
weeding and,
no heavy machinery yet, or,
Maintenance.
yeah. Flower, maybe like, yeah, exactly. Or even divot day we talked about.
divot, yep,
Going on one of the nines and filling in divots on fairways and tees. Maybe that's easier of a volunteer day for the patrons than, bending down and, digging stuff up, so.
yeah.
I think that's one of the suggestions we had in that meeting.
Yep.
Cool, that's good. Great.
So we'll hear back from the HR and see what kind of boundaries we can have.
Yeah, we're waiting for. Jerry. The town had something to say.
HR, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jerry might have some other suggestions.
Yeah.
and Things we
So
could
the first
do.
day-
Yeah. Well, the plan was, there were some things, we would always run it through Jerry and have him pick from a list and see how we can help their staff better. It's not really,
We don't want to step
yeah.
on their toes.
No,
No, it wouldn't be helpful.
It will kind of tell us from the list that we give him what would help him the best this week or that month or whatever.
Right.
Okay, great.
that's all, when you say the first week of September, that's not the start of the program, is it?
It might just be the first day,
So-
one of our volunteer days, the
Oh,
first
okay,
one.
so it'll be the first volunteer.
Because, yeah, that's our plan,
And we're gonna meet the 22nd, I think,
Yeah.
to kind of go over the course.
finalize it,
Yeah.
hopefully finalize it
That's great.
with okay, so, yeah.
And maybe make up a couple of flyers,
Yeah.
put them in the locker room.
Yeah, have
Exactly.
several ways to sign up,
Yeah.
obviously at our
Thursdays,
desk,
to have The lady learners give us something.
Yeah, give you-
When we meet on Thursdays.
yeah. Cool, the signing up, that's the easy part is getting approval to get signed up.
No.
But I think it'll be okay,
Good.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's great.
And I actually, if we get it running this year, then in the spring, you kind of have a protocol
Head
and you
start.
just kind of hit the ground running in the
Right.
spring.
I'm sure in the winter, the committee could come up with a season's worth of days.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
that's great.
We're open for once a month at this point.
Oh, good. Good. That'd be great.
I'm sure that would help, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's good. Great. Driving range netting.
So I know we've been talking about this for a while, I started to get some pricing. From anywhere from full netting on the left side, that's 60 to 80 feet high. To, 10 feet high. The most expensive ones I've got, they're in over $100K, project. Cause you're getting a company to come in there, and go up, so, it's
Yeah, you
so
gotta
many
dig
feet up in the
footings,
air,
yeah.
and put these up, so. Obviously, to me, that's unrealistic. Lindsay Hanson and I were talking, throughout the last couple weeks, he's been here a while, he's got a lot to say, nice ideas.
Those are the courts.
He was saying, maybe you do, half the tree height or a tree height. But then we started looking at the tee, and it's elevated, so it's already starting over the trees.
Right.
When golfers hit, so unless we put something at that height. I don't think you'll really prevent going to 18, so. And he also said, like, when you go to a sports venue, there's always a chance of you getting hit, right, like a
Yeah.
baseball game or
Yeah.
hockey, but those sports have put netting.
They changed, so
Right.
hockey used to be.
So it's, they've gone through their safety protocols and done their part, so I just don't know where to go with it now. Just knowing that the price of the project is,
How far down do you have to go though?
I would say,
Did a section that would.
number 18 bunker, the fairway bunker.
Yeah.
That's like the hot zone, not if you're from the range before it.
Yeah,
Right, so that would be like anywhere from 150 yards in and in on 18.
So I'm a visual person.
Mhm.
That's why I thought we might go over there one day. So, okay, here's the driving range, right? Okay, here's the 18 green.
Yeah.
Here's the cart path.
Yeah.
Here's those arborvitae's.
Yeah.
That only go to about
There,
here or
right?
so.
Yeah,
And then the cart path comes here, you have your bunker here.
Yeah.
So this is, and then you have another set of, you just have more trees starting about here.
there, yeah. And then that's where do you see the fairway bunker on 18 on that?
Fairway bunker on the.
The one way over here, right?
Right,
Yeah.
correct.
Which I don't even think that's in play for this.
No,
I
but-
guess, I'm wondering,
this
isn't
goes-
this the area we're trying to protect?
This part here, we can definitely do netting, but Sebi, they talk about here when they're walking up to 18.
Yeah, it's usually like to the middle section of 18
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
get it, not,
Like it's going over the trees and going in this area.
Oh, I see, so it's going over these trees.
Right,
oh,
so this we can,
To me,
the first hill, we can do it.
Well, to me,
Actually,
this
Jerry
is,
likes that need to.
because this is very vulnerable here, I think, because
Yeah.
you have your back to the range
Yeah.
and you're hitting out of the bunker. Or you're hitting, you're chipping from here and your back is here, when
Right.
you're walking up here,
we should see,
you,
Yeah.
you're kind of walking, I mean, granted, a ball could always come in and
yeah,
Well,
fly, but-
Sebi almost, he said he got a close one, or he encountered a close one, he was walking. He was just past the bunker going to 18. And he said, right by him.
Yeah,
These are errant shots that
So
are
it's
going
a
down.
From the range.
the bunker
It's
over
errant,
down
very
there.
down here,
It's the wrong hole.
So if they happen on any hole,
Yes.
errant shots go
Correct,
into
yes.
other fairways, I don't know what the difference is.
Because of volume,
Oh, it's more driving.
because you're driving range, so you get bucket, correct, because you have bucket, people are hitting ball after
6 at a
ball after
time,
ball.
all day.
They're hitting buckets, they're hitting hundred
where do you get the majority of the balls that
land in there,
I would say rough area, left rough of 18 and trees,
over in here,
yeah,
in here,
right here,
but there's some that will go over that.
correct. I
And these are
understand.
going all the time?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
like
I've asked-
5 a day, 100 a day?
I've asked around, no one can recall anyone getting hit yet,
I don't
you know.
remember.
So 100 grand, it's a lot of money for going every day.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I'm wondering again, what not the 100,
Yeah.
but is there something from here to
From
here
there,
that
or
would be,
we limit the golf balls. Where it won't fly so.
Right.
yeah, but
You
those still
don't wanna
go,
wait till
They
something
still,
gets hurt.
these kids
because
still
then
hit
it
it pretty
costs
far,
more
so.
to plug.
I will, for your, the first half of the range, like the first 30 yards.
what about
We have
putting
to
more,
go so
more
high here?
arborvitae's through here?
Tree line it,
Tree
you
line,
could. Cause I mean, you do have to line that. You
Yeah.
know.
It's not gonna prevent, I mean, for many years, it's not gonna prevent anything. from
No,
going
you're
over
preventing
there.
a line drive to 18 green.
Right.
For that.
Yeah, you're protecting the
Yeah.
green with trees like that.
The
And
18
the-
green.
and
That would be
keep the-
cheaper,
Yeah, so I'll
and
ask
then
you,
put the netting, if you could put the netting, you can put a tall one, if you don't have to put a lot where the trees are down there.
trees or netting, we'll see,
Yes.
for that.
Yeah, during the, where it's, they go over.
I think
There's not an enormous number of balls. that
no,
I've
it's not
seen.
enormous, it's not, you're right, it's,
It's just safe, it's just safe.
it's safety.
You can't change the position of the tees on
Well, you can, but you can still hit a shot that goes there. I mean,
Right.
that's golf, You can aim there, but it ends up there,
people aren't that accurate,
Take my word for it.
yeah, yeah. Well, thanks for looking into that, at least,
We'll continue to,
I think it's monitoring to see, if there are close
Yeah.
calls or if, God forbid, somebody gets hit, hopefully not. I've
heard
never,
of
I've not,
anybody getting hit.
I've never come close.
No,
I haven't either heard of anybody, so
I mean, I've actually been on there where one has rolled over. To the,
Right,
to the.
when rolling,
rolling,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be dangerous.
Fine,
yeah, it takes a certain hit for it to fly there.
Over the tree,
It's
pretty
hard
hard.
hit.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones.
that. All right.
Okay, thank you. Bunker insurance and an update on that and the bridges.
I was just seeing if he was calling in, but. The bunker. Bridge update. I guess there's some new stuff that's been going on in the last couple of weeks. We had, I think 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting with Public Building Committee. And they requested a couple of new items before we move forward with any type of bonding or thinking about any type of bonding. One of the items we need is statement of need. For both projects, and the big one we need is a stamp of approval from an architect for all the changes we would like. For the bunkers or bridges. Right now, I'm only gonna concentrate on the bunkers. Because. That's to me more important, but I think closer to being done than the other project. So,
Is this bridge the same bridge that you donated last year?
no,
Different bridge.
No,
yeah,
Okay.
If we have, an architect look at the bridges at some point.
the bridges are,
Oh, no, that's right. that
yeah,
was- that was
that's
the
actually
bunkers.
been,
It's the,
yeah, the bunkers.
bunkers.
So
The company that's doing it didn't, I mean, they have an
they're
architect. that
considering
designed
them
it.
a contractor, cause they will be one that we probably bid on an RFP. So I started calling several architects from the original two that did the 06 renovation.
Okay.
To someone here in Connecticut, to landscaper, The rate for it is about 5 to 20% of your total project cost. I'm gonna guess that's about 50K. I asked for where we could get 50K, if we could put it in our bond. I got negative on both. The suggestion was we use our money that we just put away.
now, yeah, cause my understanding, a couple of us went with Saul to the public building commission meeting and. Can you reach back out to them to say, do they have any suggestions as to how we can move forward with getting funds for the specs. They really want specs so that when it goes out to bid, every bidder is bidding on the same set of specifications. So in other words, these are the specs, you send it out and everybody bids on the same thing, so you're looking at apples to apples across the board. But is it really gonna cost us $50K to get those specs for the
Well,
bunkers?
the thing is, like, we have specs that we're ready to present. It needs an approval from an architect, but an architect is not gonna come here and say, oh, that looks great, so.
Yeah.
Check,
If
they're gonna want their,
So
you know,
they can get the-
POV in this project. You know, and
So you said 5% price, so you say 50 grand, the whole project is.
well, they also say if it's $1 million, it's 5%, so that's why I would just say all of it.
Do you think it's gonna go project to Bill?
Yeah.
For the bunkers?
Bill Edge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I said
Probably.
50K.
Okay,
So, one,
we need some
I would
golfer
say- I would
architect.
suggest not to
In
use
town.
our 70K on this.
Yeah.
Because even if we did, there's no guarantee that
That's right,
there's no
Yeah,
other,
money.
you know,
that's
we're gonna
right,
get
and then you're
okay.
gonna have.
unless they say that it's guaranteed, but you're never gonna get that.
No,
Alright,
so they really want all of this done before they consider bonding, the town
I see.
council considers.
Yeah, and
So what did CFGA have to say? How would? Did they have any thoughts?
well, they're all willing to come. Stephen K, Doug Smith, the two original, I could have them there today and looked at the place. But I'm not gonna bring them there if I don't know where to get. Obviously,
The
funding,
Mhm.
yeah, you know, down.
And even through CSGA, it would be that much?
I mean, just even call it 20 grand, right? Are we okay to use 20 grand? It's the same place, right? It's gonna come from the same place. You know, there's no,
Any of the surplus that we had here at the end of the season,
well, the 70 that was granted,
We got
That's what I'm-
70K. So
that's
the
what I'm
pro-
talking about.
the question is, how, do we wanna spend any of that?
immediately.
Yes.
And there's no guarantee, by the way, like, that's the only, hurdle we have to jump,
and after
you know?
you.
No, but we're not gonna get anywhere unless we do that.
Yeah,
I mean,
Sounds like.
this is the start of.
The other, obviously the other option is you go back to normal, just use insurance money. If we wouldn't even owe anything. Right?
How much insurance money do we get?
Well, 450, but the 50 is deductible, but that doesn't come out from us. Comes out from risk management's department.
You got 450 to fix the bridge?
No,
the
this
bunkers-
just, we're just
bunkers.
talking about bunkers.
Just bunker?
Yeah, to bring us back to how it was before our claim,
Okay,
which is like a dying system. Every time it rains, you take a chance for all of this.
okay.
So, I mean, we just did it less than 10 years ago.
This is
The
really
same
too
system.
bad, though, that
So-
we can't do it the right.
Well, we have some options, right? I like to work with everyone and, and so one option is. Go back to normal, don't owe anything, we have all this. Open space to do whatever we want to the course. The other option is, you go through all these, steps. Try to get the bond.
They don't get approved.
Well, let's just say even if it does get approved, we're gonna owe 600K or whatever, how long is that gonna take?
Okay.
And what can we do while we pay that off? You know,
Also,
our long-term projects.
And that option
will
would
take a
improve,
hit.
that option would improve the bunker system.
Yes,
Okay.
Well, that's the capillary system
concrete calculations.
Yeah. for a
The
million.
$100 million project. Yeah. So,
Well, I'm just wondering what's the. Cause I would personally, I'd be willing to spend some of the 70 on the architect.
I'll look
because-
for like smaller options.
Oh,
The least expensive
Yeah.
architect we can get, I mean, if we could get
I
something.
go to
for
architectural
20.
school at Central Connecticut, that's not. That's a class, they might go out.
That's fair.
Golfers
Yeah.
want to donate their time.
I'll start looking around. Is there a ballpark you guys are comfortable with?
I believe that's you.
Yeah.
I'm open for,
I
because
don't
I
know-
have
don't know.
numbers in my head that I would be open for.
I wouldn't have
Well,
any
what would you
idea.
think? 20.
Tops, 10, 20.
Okay,
Twenty.
Yes.
yeah,
But, I mean, there,
School's always looking for experience.
Because that architect that would, he can't even look at what was submitted by the,
I mean, I'm not saying he won't,
he could,
right?
so why couldn't, and
But they're still going to put their POV and touch it with
sure,
and
sure.
ask for the amount
Yeah.
of the money, I mean,
Yeah.
that approval is very expensive, it's not really what they tell us, it's at the end of the day,
Systems like
it's
that.
the signature, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's like school's better, they love the experience.
But this is why we talk, right? Let me look
Are they
into that
And
option.
I would
They have,
also
they accredited this school?
I don't know, I'm an architect, but.
reach out to the maybe reach out to the USGA to see if they have any interns in this area, in their ergonomics area.
Sure. Cause I think the timeline, we're still in the timeline to maybe get on someone's book for early spring, you know, get ready for opening day. But that line of, you know, of too late's coming soon, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna work hard to get this figured out in the next week or two.
Okay.
Just give us another option. I'm at least going to communicate it to you guys. And see what's going on, but. You know, the other hurdle is our insurance. There's no timeline on using it, but we did switch companies lately. So, you know, Kerma, who is granting us the claim. We're done with it, we're using someone else now, so. You know, we're not paying them, you know, how much help are they gonna, I'm trying to do this as fast as possible
Right,
before they
before they
say,
forget about us.
see you later,
Right.
right? So I'm also,
Oh, do you have all the documents so that they?
well, yes, you know, and
Like slow play.
Yeah. you know, and that's.
Well, and the other thing is, do we, you know, if you can get the architect for a reasonable
Yeah.
amount, get the insurance and do, you know, like some of the bunkers,
Right, yeah,
you know, with the 450K, I don't know how many
even
bunkers.
as concrete,
Right, so start the project
right,
with the 450 in hopes that through the bonding, if that eventually gets approved, that you could do more.
maybe just do greens or something, or, you know, or
Pick
whatever.
The
priority,
ones
I
that
mean,
are gonna be,
you know, maybe the
smaller,
par threes, or I don't know how to prioritize it.
Actually, I remember us having those options in the beginning anyway, so.
Yeah, to do
It's
some of
funny how
them,
we go back to it, so,
at least you'd be getting some of them done.
yeah, that's true.
Versus having 450 sit there for a year or two or three and not do any bunkers.
that's right.
Actually, one of the original architect, Doug Smith, he's working on one where the course is doing, you know, 3 or 4 a season.
And that's,
That they can do that,
Maybe more
you have to do that.
so,
So the ones.
but even then, I think we need an architect.
Yes, yeah, you do.
Before they'll plan the whole thing out, and we just take what we can afford.
Exactly.
And maybe we could still go for the bonding
Yeah.
for some of it.
The ones that you're gonna eliminate, Jerry takes care of that, right?
No, it would be part of this
Oh,
project.
really?
Yeah, but if we were very selective, maybe you don't, you know,
Right,
maybe, yeah, if it's not Jerry, maybe we have a company that can do it, but
yeah, you're right.
most likely it would be Jerry, it's, you know,
Not always done it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so more to come, and
um,
the same thing, and the building commission suggested separating out the bunker and the bridge into 2 separate projects. My conversation with Arosh some weeks ago was they liked the idea of them being together in a bonding package because there's less fees involved instead of, you know, going to, but
Yeah.
I think it's an awful lot to bite off both.
Yeah.
It's an awful lot.
we're okay to concentrate on the bunkers.
Yes.
I mean, the
Yes.
bridges need it, but they still work.
If
It's
the
still
hand
over
with
them.
test go around the grass to,
So then they have to
Yeah.
Who's the Roche's replacement?
right now it's Lee Palmer, he's interim, he's here 3 days a week. I think it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's all I know.
Who's Jerry?
Jerry's our assistant director of golf / superintendent. He is,
Very Salvio.
yeah, Salvio, SALVIO.
And he was, when the prior director of golf left before Sal came on board, he was interim.
So Doug is not,
Doug
Solid guy,
Doug Solik is director of facilities.
For the whole town.
Yeah.
oh, what's the town?
Those are all town improvements.
Okay, all right, I got you.
Solid,
All right, gotcha.
is this the man that we read
The resume? Yeah. I don't have, he's the only one, yeah.
and he's permanent or interim?
Interim.
Okay.
And this is what he does,
He's done a lot of interim
he's,
placements. I-
merger or whatever.
But I
He's done a
read
lot of
his
interim
resume,
placements.
Yeah.
That's what he seems to do.
He does a lot of interim.
Short term everywhere.
Okay, well, all right, surplus, 50K surplus usage?
So,
We have 50, I thought we had 70.
no, we have 70, but I think, Mr. Noren was asking where the 50K that we didn't get went.
Oh, okay, it went back to the town,
Well,
right?
more so like
The general fund.
general, some went back to facilities costs, not hours and labor, but costs throughout the last 3 years.
Oh, that was,
Or 4 years, actually, yeah, just showing you in general what they've done to the clubhouse in the last several years.
but isn't that the town's responsibility anyway, because they own the buildings?
Yeah, but
It's like their department's helping us. So we don't pay their labor, but we pay
Okay,
the cost of
so that's.
materials,
materials, right, so.
okay. So we have to pay the cost, I was looking at this, so that's what this is from Gail Erickson,
She's finance.
finance.
Yeah.
So
They
this
send it
is,
to her,
okay, so this is, who's the they? Sends it? Is it
facilities, so
Doug?
it looks like,
Solar.
yeah,
Doug.
Doug and Wayne, yeah.
So Doug lets her know what the expenditures on the repairs / maintenance for the golf course have been over the past few years. It looks like we got,
54,000.
What year are you looking at?
Well, I thought that was a total.
No, there's 3 years worth of.
There's 3 years.
Numbers here.
yeah, like, so in other words, if we go back to the starting back to 20, let's go.
For each year.
20 to 21, you've got a total of 54. You've got 15.3 and 39.1. So in
Yeah.
20 to 21, it was 54K. Then in 21 to 22, you had about 32K. There was no added, it didn't add up, but 32K. And then
Right, so
last
I
year,
just got they just emailed me last
you
year.
had 41K.
Was it, is that what it was?
Yeah, 41.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
you have to pay them,
Well, obviously, we didn't pay it all back,
you know. Has any of it been paid, or is this something that's,
well, it's all been paid, it's just you're kind of,
has it been
Take back,
paid by
you know.
Timberlands?
all those bills have been paid, I'm sure, yeah.
Okay.
So Nancy, remember every year we've had money left over?
Mhm.
That money has gone back, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is how it works. That money has gone back to the general fund.
Before this year,
Yes.
yes,
And hasn't, that's what's paid for this? Or not?
I think what went to the general fund buckets is our unused budget,
Or unused budget?
yeah.
But didn't that cover some of this?
This is our surplus for the year. From your profit loss,
Oh, okay, so when,
Wait a minute,
yeah, that's what,
so
right, because our profit loss is 125,
last year,
yes.
Okay.
And we kept 70. And Ms. Norton asked, why couldn't we keep 125?
it doesn't cover this.
The rest went here, or
well, it only went to this year, because these 2 years are gone, these are fiscal years are closed.
yeah, technically, but when was the last time it went to them? I'm not sure.
Well, that's my question,
Yeah.
I would think, don't they reconcile at the end of every fiscal year?
I don't know. I know usually our surpluses and funds at the end of the year goes to the general fund buckets,
Right,
you know.
and then do these items show up as line items in your budget?
No,
No, they don't,
no,
right, So-
these are not expenditure lines in our budget.
right. So then that money that went back to the town technically covers this.
You're the money guy, what do you say?
But yeah, we're paying back,
Yeah,
basically.
Right, so for the past year, I mean, we gave back to the town 50K. And they spent 41K of it.
Then the past, we can look at the movie.
But the town's got a secret bill.
yeah,
That's how
That's
kind of
a
it sounds like.
$30.
well, to me, it sounded like the 50 covered all these
Oh,
units,
so that's good. That'll work.
right? I mean,
I don't,
did we,
Sounds good to me.
like, I don't know how much in the past have been put for these causes. From our surplus or unused budget, I don't know,
They're just showing
Well, I
you that we
think-
spent this much. You
in
give
the
us
last
50,
few
you give us
years.
50 back is.
Well, we've
you're
given
lucky to be
more
doing
than-
that.
we've given them,
That's kind of what
What
what I got from them,
makes sense.
you know, like, you're lucky we only
Total
took
collateral,
that.
then getting back.
but. In the past 5 years, we've given back to the town about $400,000.
Oh, so they're saying,
Well,
look,
that's general fund, this is more to facilities department. I can ask these questions, obviously, you know,
Yeah, I think so.
they-
Well, I think it's important, I think it's a real important, the process now that you're in place.
Where it goes.
That in terms of, you don't wanna see this bill at the end of the year. I wouldn't if I was
So
responsible.
we haven't, right? We haven't, this,
No, so,
you were never billed at the end of 21 or 22.
well, I don't think, do we know if we were or not? We don't.
Well, you don't, because they take everything,
Yeah,
Right,
and
they
you know
just,
where it goes,
So-
right?
correct, that's my,
So-
my point, is terms of, okay,
Maybe this is the exchange, you want money to stay with us, now they're gonna say, well, pay these bills off.
but they took the previous.
Well, yeah,
5
but
years.
we didn't keep anything then, right, I don't know, so. I'll find out,
Yeah,
obviously,
yeah,
maybe,
because last year it shows it was only.
you go always forward me questions and then, that's what Jim does, he asks me these questions and then I ask finance.
yeah, and I just think it's important that, this not come out once a year at the end of the
Yeah,
fiscal year,
well-
but quarterly, what have they spent quarterly so that you know where, so that, again, at the end of the year, if we have 100K and you know that they've already spent 50 of it, well, technically, we maybe don't have 100, we
So
only have
when-
50.
When y'all were around for those years, you didn't know about these.
None of this,
No.
none of this, no.
The town was just taking the action.
There you go.
So it's good that so this is useful.
Maybe I opened up a can of worms by asking for money.
No,
We only spent
Well, that's-
38,600.
That's not very good that
That's
you're
good.
receiving these for the first time, I mean, this is a 4-year span,
Right.
so that's where we are now, that's why where we are where we are now, right, so. We'll fix that now, so
Yeah.
we can be
No,
updated.
It's very helpful information, I think it would be helpful for you.
What is divot mix issue?
Uh,
That's just divot you replace with
These are-
seed?
a lot of these, I'm sorry, but are we moving on from that item?
Yeah, I this.
Okay, but- Please send me the questions.
Yeah. We'll do.
These agenda items are from Mrs. Lawrence, so divot mix issue, I guess he was saying that there's not enough people using it, or it's not available. It's one time, the one after, he told me, hey, your part 3 divot mix buckets are empty. I texted staff to check very early, they say it's fine, so I'm sorry, it's not frustration. When we check it, we put it at the cards, we have in between hole 1 and 10, we have a container there with extra bottles.
Yeah.
I think it's really, just like in any course, it's up to the golfer.
It's just seed and sand, is put in there?
It's like a special mix,
It's
or
supposed to
with some
stand.
fertilizer.
I'm gonna send out my weekly parents,
Yeah.
I'll add that.
I-
To add them for your
Yeah,
information.
I mean, I'm sorry, it's not just on the golf, it goes both ways, that's also why we're doing this volunteer program,
Right.
right? Cause you can't just say that it's
Is it
It's
best
just
to
people.
put your divot back? That's the best case scenario, right?
best, well, no, it's actually the same,
Sand.
Or say it's
Yeah.
better than replacing with?
yeah.
Okay.
Because unless it rains the next day and the roots happen to take place, it just dries out.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you saw the newsletter. This past one,
Liquid
but
mix is better.
we put some instructions on how to actually put the sand mix down. Or, properly, so, we'll keep attacking it, hopefully with volunteer programs. You'll see,
I saw a
more of
few
a
spots
difference.
this week where there were 3 major divots
Yeah.
right next to each other.
Yeah, like,
It's-
That too, that was in our
somebody-
newsletter,
Somebody's practicing out here
trying to prevent that,
and they're making a mess of the place,
it's,
and it wasn't just one spot, I saw several.
And
spots.
usually out of a group of 4, 9 times out of 10, there's a cart with the,
yeah.
You built the watch.
Boy,
I think the more, we push and put
educate.
informative stuff like educate,
yeah,
and then these pivot programs. There's always gonna be your selective few that,
right.
won't do it, so. But I think that's what the agenda
I
items
think the residents are more apt to be conscious of taking care of the courts.
I know.
Filling the
That's-
difference
I think.
than.
People who play the most probably, hopefully do it the most, 'cause
Yeah.
they care about the course more than
Right.
somebody who plays it twice a year.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't usually take much for divots, but I'm gonna start carrying one of those bottles around and fill in the ones that are.
You can move the phone.
I have a bottle too,
Yeah,
and I walk.
I didn't realize that it was so bad until this year. I'm noticing all
We're
this.
already like almost through the.
Halfway
agenda.
through.
Yeah. You can just wanna watch the video. You want to speak.
That's fine. I don't care.
You know what, yeah, I'm here, whatever, you guys,
You're on speakerphone now, okay?
but I can't even get in.
You try calling that number that was on the agenda?
Yeah, it does, and then I put the other number in, I can't get in.
Okay, well. We're
You're
on,
on speaker.
we're on agenda 3 dividend mix already.
Do you have any comments on the divot mix issue, Jim? We just talked about the fact that we need to, continue to educate everybody on the need to do that, and with the implementation of the volunteer program, that may help. But it's a constant battle to try to get people to fill in the divots.
That's, it's that's a fair statement, and I've talked to Sal about it, and usually, you're right, it's an education issue. But the same token, I will say this, and I said this to Sal, I've gone out there and I've walked, obviously, but sometimes when I take a card, cards I have, doesn't make, it's not in there. And then some of the other holes, there's no didn't mix in there, there's just mix in there, so, it's, we have to be consistent with what we're telling you. And, we have to, if we're gonna put it out there, we have to support it. That's all.
Right, yeah,
You're right.
okay, we're moving on to rain damage.
I haven't been there, so you guys got some heavy rains, man. I don't know what happened, so.
Oh man, we lost a green, a bunker. No,
And he's pulling your leg.
we, to be truthful, the course got through it well. I mean, yeah, there's some low spots that you can tell that it was wet. And the mower went over it, maybe it was too wet, but the greens are good, bunkers are being touched up. We're already back to normal cart protocol, so. I think one day we opened just the front 9 to walk over. So, Jerry was pretty creative that day to get some play actually, instead of coaching 2 days in a row, so.
That's smart. That's very good, so very good, they're doing a good job, what they got, they are.
Yeah. For Elena in the minutes, Jim Norton has joined the meeting. Commissioner Norton has joined at 6:45. Anything else on the rain damage? I agree, Saul. I think I played it, 2 days after after that big monsoon, and it wasn't too bad.
Luckily.
Yeah.
We didn't get the rain we were expecting, but
It wasn't bad.
it still held up good, so thanks.
How now?
Good, it's like I said, we haven't had cart restrictions, so that's always a good sign for the back nine. And I think I think you played today or so.
Yesterday and Monday,
When I drive around, I'm not going through any puddles or anything.
course is in great shape.
That's great, that's good to hear.
Thanks.
Okay, so now we're on to the P and L for our first, isn't this fiscal year 25 we're in now?
Yeah, that's my first one of 25, yeah.
Because so this is,
Oh, I'm sorry, was there a typo?
yeah,
This
so
should be,
fiscal year 25 P and L, right?
where is it? Yes.
Number
yes,
5,
yes.
okay, just to be clear.
Yes.
So we have fiscal year 25 here. Which ended July 31st, 2024, of course. So that is, so our full budget for the year, if I'm reading this correctly, for the entire year, Saul, the full budgeted expenditures are budgeted out at 1.681.
And that's including 67K of capital towards
Okay.
a new mower.
Okay. So that's what's been budgeted.
Yes,
Okay,
which we're already in line for.
And we've budgeted 1.668 for revenue.
Yes,
Okay.
that was with our standstill plan and see how it goes this year. But
we
we,
know it's up.
Go ahead.
You're still ahead.
yes, I was gonna say we're ahead. Well, we'll see this winter where we are in that.
So then if I'm looking at this, the next column, it says year-to-date actual. So that's what the revenue for July was 247K, correct? And then the expenditures were the 473. Am I reading that right?
Yeah, and
Okay.
both numbers are up from FY 24.
Wow,
Correct.
Revenue's up, but expenses are up.
Both are up, right?
yeah, that's part of the revenue, but we knew that going in.
Yeah.
We knew that there was an increase going in there, so, truthfully, if we look at it in respect that come July, reason the rest of that year, right? Provided that we're moving along and doing the things that we're doing, then they'll make up for that, that shortfall is gonna continue for the next, 6 months, obviously. You'll continue, and you'll pick it up the next 6 months. Because the rate they go in effect from the next year, fiscal year budget, right, I mean.
So,
It's
yeah,
showing that crossover.
yeah, it's
Showing
done
the
with that.
crossover.
Any questions, anything stand out for folks on the budget and on the expenditures for July?
I just wanted to point out health insurance, the 99,000. Remember you asked why
Yes.
100,000 was billed? We pay every July the health insurance for the year,
Oh, okay,
so that's why it's that big.
okay. That's interesting, it's paid annually, huh? I wonder if you get a rate
Yeah,
discount.
maybe, but that's one of the fringe benefits that we do that for. The rest are monthly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, next.
Open discussion, ladies tea donation?
So the ladies came up to me and, maybe I've done a bad job of not giving these donation packets out, but they gave me $400 for a tree. For a memory of, for one of the past members and, with our donation packet, the tree's a little more expensive, So maybe the Niners would like to be the first one to be, or this. In memory of would like to be the first one to get on around the Timberland tree. My plan for the Timberland tree is to get a bigger, an official plaque for it with, so maybe we could write something up to put on it. And around it, we'll have some donations or in memory of, how many can you fit around there? We mulched it up pretty good, I think you could fit a pretty good amount of.
So are you saying that it would be exclusive for the Lady Niners?
If you like, but I would say you'd be the first one to have in memory of there.
I don't think you can make it exclusive.
Not
What
yet.
other clubs wanna give something, what are you gonna do, make individual
Right.
clubs? Yeah, and for clarity on the minutes, this is the Lady Niners tea donation,
Tea donation,
Right.
you know.
Is that what it is?
It,
Yeah. They gave $400.
Is there a minimum with that, Sol, or no?
I mean, I know I can get a tree for this, but
You let it tree that died, it's like, 14, right?
we talked about it earlier.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay, I'll double down on it and check it. 14 left side, right?
Did that have a plaque on it? The one that?
It did.
Oh,
Um,
you can't be taking that way.
so, I mean, this one, they left it to us on where to put it or what time,
Could be
you
just a
know.
flowering,
So,
small
what
flowering.
about getting wall, something to that effect, you know what I mean, and that was happier, we talked about this.
Yeah, well-
Then we have a meeting on these things.
I think they're maybe wanted something a little more like, sooner than later.
Is it a tree donation or a tea donation? So it's
Uh,
tree.
Tree.
It's a tree.
Yes, they want a tree.
Oh, they're
So it's tree.
$400.
It's just tree.
Yeah.
So the tree is $400.
Well, they gave $400. The tree's
Yeah.
probably around 350 bucks.
Cause I think that.
Hey, that's crepe myrtle, pink crepe myrtle for 125.
I mean, we're okay with it? Do you want me to be like, hey, our donation packet is this now, or? Do you wanna do that Timberland tree?
Yeah, the donation back one was big.
Yes.
We're gonna go back, I mean, we're gonna go back and forth, I mean, this is, it was a great problem. Here's what it is, right? And then we talked about the digital wall as well, right? For those that don't want to do anything like that.
So on the donations, did you have that packet all set up?
I do. Do we?
And so is there any, can they get?
She
any
could
kind of
probably
trace
get a
like
nice
that?
bronze plaque that we could put around that tree.
Oh,
you know,
but that,
on
you don't
16.
have it, in the packet, in the, the donation packet where they can get a tree.
There is, it's.
There is, but it's a lot more than $400.
Yeah, what is it? What's the number?
$1,000.
Okay, all right,
So
So,
that's the rub, so to speak.
okay, I will, I can take.
when I say these to the ladies, they kind of give me a blank look, like.
I can talk to them. and
Yeah.
see.
It's good, I mean, again, the tree on 16, 17, if you wanna be the first one. I'm pretty sure this will cover your plaque there.
Yeah, I mean, at least
You
they'll
wanna
have
give
the
extra.
plaque, the person's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think maybe the thing, Nancy, you might want, I mean, maybe you fill them in, but, we now do have a donation
Yeah,
kind of
I'll email.
plan and protocol. And so do they wanna be part of that plan and protocol and be part on this kind of memorial area that we're trying to develop?
So what will the cost be to be part of the Timberland tree?
$400.
This would be,
$400?
yeah. But yeah, I think when they gave, I didn't know this was the plan, so I couldn't, I didn't know to give them a donation package, so.
Yeah.
I can, to you,
But I
like,
mean, if-
Or 600 more. Sure.
Yeah,
whatever they like.
that won't count,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then, full transparency, we're kind of losing money on some of this stuff. I mean, you're just, because it still takes labor and materials to put that into the ground and maintain it.
Yeah.
So a lot, and we could lose the money until forever, it's like, all right, so that's how we started talking about this years ago, all right, the beautification process goes forward, what is your plan for plantings, this year, next year, the year 50, like 10 years down the road, and you're looking at trees and plantings that are gonna last, 30, 40, 50 years.
Right.
That,
I will definitely talk to them.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
If they don't wanna do it, I'll
Where we going? Yeah, no, I agree, Jim.
Well,
So-
maybe again, sharing with them that we have a plan for
Yeah.
this area. And there's already a tree there, but over the years, we'd like to add to that area, we'd like to add memorial plaques. We might want to add some shrubbery, we might wanna add a bench, we might wanna add things to that area.
And actually, I've given out a couple of donation packets, because some folks are interested, and we'll see what comes out of
I
it.
mean, this is what we would be able to afford.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well,
And
there's choices there,
that's right, and they aren't gonna wanna spend more than that, so.
everyone's got a budget.
yeah,
Right,
yeah, I'll
exactly.
talk to them.
Thank you so much. I have, I just got it today, so I hope I can fit it into open discussion. One of the leagues we have that's been with us for a while, are seeing if we could donate a portion to their, one of their House for Hope's causes. So, I'm sure if you ask Mark, he would vouch for the league, and in my 2 years, this league has always come, in full, they pay on time and never caused problems, so. If we could, great, if not. It's okay.
There's, as far as I'm concerned, and I'll weigh in and everybody can speak. They've supported
Yeah.
the court, right, they can see the support the courts, and part of it, I mean, it's your real life, it's right here in, with them, so, I'm not gonna look into, to accept it.
Second,
So I don't know if that for recording, Jim Norton made a motion to accept the donation, to provide a donation to House of Hope from one of the leagues at Berlin for their tournament. We would give them a foursome. Lucas second.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
aye,
All opposed? Aye. Gail opposed.
Okay. I don't, so, who's in, is it, did
It passed.
it pass or not?
Yes, it passed.
I have something for open discussion.
Okay, Nancy?
Could they have, could they cut down the shrub that on both sides of the fort, along the stream for full 14?
Oh, like we did on 17?
Yes, exactly, yeah, the ladies, certainly make them for them,
So number 14,
both sides.
just.
So they can't make,
No, it could be on plan, they haven't finished.
Yeah, I suspect.
Yeah, they haven't finished 17 yet, they're just working on.
I think they're probably gonna do them all.
All right,
Yeah.
okay,
I
I'm gonna
guess-
double check.
just to make sure they do.
Yeah, I'm sure they
I'm
will.
assuming, I know we've been talking about that for a while, so.
They're probably planning to, and I mentioned to Saul, just to put it out there, that, when you come out of the Timberland and you get onto the road, if you look to that right, that branch is hanging over quite a bit. Now, I understand that might be state property, but it's a real safety hazard and that needs to get cut.
I saw where you're
Yeah,
talking
I didn't see it,
You-
where is it, as you're exiting Timberland?
If you exit at Timberland
Yeah.
and you look to your right,
Yeah,
there's a branch that's hanging towards the
Okay.
road.
like over
I
the
don't
sign,
under-
or,
No, past that, like
Past
you're
that,
trying to
okay.
see if there's any oncoming traffic.
oh, I see, okay,
And you can't
can't see, okay.
clearly as the
I'll sell it to the road.
yeah,
Yeah,
Southington Road.
Yeah. you gotta keep
That
creeping
would
up.
be state
Yeah.
property, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I would, but I think,
But
I
I think
would-
for our own
somebody-
safety,
Attention
we
next
gotta
time I'm
just
leaving.
take care of it.
yeah, I better to ask for,
Maybe I'll just hang on.
yeah. Get it.
We watch.
I have an item for open discussion, I noticed that the, concrete T marker for number 5 is not back, and I know, Saul, you had mentioned you wanted to wait till that whole project is done, but that could be years. And I'm concerned that the donor, the Facey family, plays the course every summer, and,
The pole number 5 is in our fall plans. The cart path on hole 5.
it's gonna get done in the fall, so that
It's in
sign,
plans for
fall,
fall.
so that cart sign will go back up in the fall.
I would, whenever that's done, you know, so in the fall, yeah.
In the fall, yeah, if it doesn't get done this fall though, I think we have to.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, looking at the CIP, I think we're in line to have a couple big projects this fall.
And that's one of them,
And number two,
okay,
you know,
okay, all right,
obviously we'll look at it then and see what we can fit in. So,
I'll let them know. Anything else under open discussion, folks?
No.
Okay, T-sign account, we have $400. I don't think we have that earmarked for anything at this point.
just there. I mean, you know, as reserve.
It's there. CIP. 27, almost 29K. With very few encumbrances.
There's bills that.
Need to get paid.
need to get paid.
Oh,
They've already committed,
Yeah,
it's
they've
committed,
already accounted
Oh,
for.
same as committed.
I had to Google that year one.
Committed.
DPA didn't teach me that. Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, do you have plans on any of that, Saul, or,
For CIP?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, first one's hole 2. That's the one we're gonna concentrate on this year, and if that doesn't get overboard, hole 5 car path. Those are the two I really wanna get done for next year.
okay,
I would like to go around more, I wanna get a price for that, if not, we're just gonna continue the route that it has now. But I think if it goes around the number 6 side of the T,
oh,
you know, it would, number 4 would play better. You know, without having a cart path there.
there, right, correct.
So, obviously pricing is key, so we'll see how it is.
I think they were looking at going the other, also saw for, handicap purposes too.
Oh, that too, yeah.
That's why, that
I
had
see.
nothing to do with, but the trees were tearing up and digging up basically the pavement there.
Yeah,
And going on the other side, that's why they took all those trees out of there, and they're gonna, it'd be easier for the handicap access to the senior CNET actually, going on the upper side, there's less of a hill to go up.
yeah, you're right about that, the start of that cart path, or the end of that cart path, it's very bumpy now.
Correct.
And then if you did the cart path on the far side of the T, would you rip up that asphalt?
Yeah, you.
Rip it up?
And put you saw,
Uh,
yeah, so, that, you know, obviously that's
That's
part of the
a
project.
great project.
Yeah.
Make that very nice looking.
It would different look and it would continue the work that the ground score already put by putting mountains there and stuff,
Right.
yeah.
yeah,
you know. That was the long-term plan there.
And what's the plan for 2? What are you gonna do on 2?
To
The whole left side.
the left side of the fairway and up to the tree line, we're gonna resod, put new grass, you know, regrade.
You gonna put any fill down?
Oh, I don't know how we're going to get to real grass there.
Yeah, cause
You know,
that's,
above me, that we have to get some planning on that.
take down any of the trees,
From the inside,
you know,
like, we would take trees from the wall side in
okay,
and then carefully take them out, because you don't want it to lose its dog leg. You
right,
don't want it to lose
Right.
its difficultness.
right,
You know, right now, phase 1, the goal is really to get some playable surface on the left side of the fairway and rough, I mean,
I think that's gonna be a real challenge, cause look what happened with 5.
yeah.
Five, they tried to do that on the right and
Yeah.
it's never come in, and I don't know how you get, I don't know how.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to
Yeah.
irrigate it.
Well, we have to see, I mean,
I don't
know,
know how you're gonna get it,
if it's
unless you put a lot of fill in there.
yeah, if it's a sunlight thing or a water thing,
I think it's a water.
we have to see, you know, what our options are
The
and,
way the sun is,
yeah.
it comes in on that side of,
Well, that's why you start taking trees from the
Right.
inside
yeah,
and see if that actually provides more air, sunlight, or
Right.
whatever. And then, yeah, that could be
Challenging.
a challenging project, but I think we have to do something about it,
Yeah.
you know, it's,
It almost would be better if it was all just woods, like a true dog leg.
like a true dog
Yeah.
leg.
Like a dog leg is a dog leg
Yeah.
and you gotta go around it and
Yeah, that's why we're really just concentrating right now on the playable side
Right.
of it, not in the woods, but the
Right.
playable side of,
Right.
right of the woods.
Yeah,
So,
you're only talking maybe
20 yards
yeah,
width.
yeah, 30 feet, I was gonna say,
Yeah,
along the right, along that left side of
Left side, yeah.
Yeah.
two. You don't have to go into the tree.
No, and then if we really can't take all these trees out, we can put mounds over the roots.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
was
so
gonna
we-
suggest.
Rather than,
Put some berms in
Yeah.
there and some,
Rather
make it
than,
interesting, make it interesting.
if you put those hay or straws, you still could hit rocks, but if
Yes.
you put mounds on there, you're covering the roots and rocks, so.
Interesting, well,
No, I think, you know, Gail makes a good point. We had an issue with, 5 and 6. Because there's lack of irrigation over there, and grass itself, 4 to 6 hours, actually 4 to 5 hours of sunlight a day to grow. If you start putting stuff in there, you gotta remember, you're just trying to do carts anyway. And so you care about whatever you're trying to do, so I mean, to me, it's really, you know, get an architect to look this through and figure out what our options really are, rather than just go in there and start, you know, cutting away, trying to figure out what you wanna do. Think about this thing and really think this thing through, because it's, without irrigation, you know, you have a problem. There's no doubt about that. Without sunlight, you have a problem. Just put pine straw in there, that we talked about this before we talked, we had to repeat it over and over again. You're gonna drive through there, it's a problem, so either, you know, you cut them down so they can't get in there, and they can walk in there. Or, you know, I don't know, put your own off the top, right? I mean, really think about it.
Yeah, I'm, like you say, I mean, we have to get an architect, I learned that lesson in the last 2 weeks, so. We have to get a professional's point of view on it. And
yeah, well, Jerry probably has some good
Well,
ideas.
Jerry, we've talked already, and, you know, some of these things I'm telling you are from
Yeah,
his
yeah.
point of view, so.
Yeah.
Like Mark's mentioned stuff, you know, we had that posting on Facebook a couple of times where you get some, you know, feedback, but ultimately, like, Jim says, someone that's doing this professionally has to come here and give us some ideas, and maybe as I go through this process of finding an architect for the bunkers, you know, maybe they can help us down the line too, right? So,
Get a twofer.
but yeah, and hopefully those are all the plans, the way the CIP is adding up, you know, we should be definitely doing one of those things, so.
That's good to hear.
Anything else on your report? Anybody have any questions on Saul's report? Did we get one from Mark?
I did it, you know, he's been a little busy with, you know, a lot of his, junior events are like
Okay.
finishing up with playoffs and, oh, by the way, congrats to the Timberland PJ Junior League team who made it to the sectionals at Bethpage.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's, Coach Mark and, Coach Brandon, you know,
Oh,
great
great.
job, kudos to those guys, I don't know if y'all got the email today.
I didn't
There's,
see it.
Mark sent an email, and it explains, you know, their, achievement and, you know, I think they're, trying to get some help for that, so.
Did I see anything else over there?
Yeah.
So where do
Yeah, they can't find a hotel.
Where does that take place?
At Bethpage in Long Island,
Oh,
yeah, that's where, the Eastern,
They're looking for a
regional
hotel.
championship is, and if they win that, they go to the national, yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
So this is one more step from last year, so this is,
Wonderful.
it's awesome, and I
That's
think
great.
there's 2 teams, so, yeah.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Good news.
What are they playing? Red, black, blue, green?
Yellow, I think,
Really? Nice.
yeah,
It's gonna be, they're not full of
The different courses at that, there's about 5 courses. There's a
it should be
really-
fun,
okay.
they said you're gonna drive them.
Home the fair.
So, if, that's all I got from my report, I mean, we're losing, you know, some staff. Very thankful to them, gaining Peter Adam, I don't know if y'all know him, but he's one of the regulars. That's it.
But my comment is Jill and Lana, and, you know, you're on, doing a great job. And there's, you know what, people give them lip, and they, you know, that's something we need to live, it's lip in the butt. And they shouldn't do that, I mean, it's like, you know, they're doing their job, they're doing the best they can with what they got, and kudos to them, you know, kudos to them, they're really, but something has to be done with the, some of these, the people are just downright rude, man, it's like, what's your problem?
That's not cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a problem we've been facing. You know, I tell everyone that works for the golf course, we are, we're susceptible to that, you know, we are, you know, our policy, there's no rebuttal policy, you know, if they don't rebuttal, I can do something about it. You know, but once we rebuttal, then we lose our, you know, our substance to our argument, so. The girls, everyone's been doing a great job of, you know, biting their lip and no rebuttaling, and they tell me what's going on, I follow up and. Like, you know, and if we have to have a meeting with the person, we do, so. You know, but we're thankful for everyone's support.
Yeah,
you know,
but
for the
are you talking about rude patrons?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
That's all part of.
it's part of, yeah.
well, I know, I work retail, so.
Yeah, it's part of customer service, and as I tell them, I could probably rebuttal to someone every day, but I don't, you know, because it's the better of our operation, so. You know, and
Is the buyer coming back?
I hope they're all coming back. I don't know,
She doesn't go to
well, you know,
school, or does she?
a lot of these girls, they're young, but they're growing up, so I don't know how fast they grow up and get out of, you know, this position, so.
Yeah, who knows?
I'd love for them to all stay, but they're all gonna leave at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, Jim, anything?
No.
No? Go around the table, Luke, anything?
Good, thank you.
Rob's good? Okay, how about, motion to adjourn?
Okay.
Oh my God, is that?
Yeah, you beat your time.
Yeah, that was my goal. All right, Nancy, made a motion to, adjourn, Gail second, and we'll see you in August. Thank you, everybody.
Oh,
Thanks, Tim.